Hello, and welcome to Dating is a Joke, where we take dating so seriously that we laugh about it. Today, I've got with me Brian. Brian? Brian, where did you go? Oh
Yeah,
no,
hold on a
I'm supposed
second. Yeah, concierge, bring my drinks. Bring all my drinks out here. Hey, very glad to be here. I'm taking time off my vacation right now. It is winter in Canada, January 1st. How you doing, miss?
thank you, Brian, for taking time from
I,
your cocktail drinking, extensive cocktail drinking to join
I
me.
said a double. Bring me, and I want a little umbrella. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Brian, so we're gonna start with the question of first of all, what is your current relationship status?
Zero.
Zero. Okay. Single. Okay, we'll put that as single.
Zero, nada, fresh,
And if
fresh,
your
fresh.
if your love life historically had a movie title, what would that movie title be?
Gun to my head, I would say the Titanic. I would say because you're thinking, wow, dating this guy, look at this is gonna be so much fun. And then you get on it, and you're like, yo, we better get on the lifeboat quick. Uh,
Oh my God, are people jumping off before everything just goes down?
oh yeah, hold on tight. It's a hell of a ride. That's what I all I could say. I'm like, you know. But no, I yeah, that's that. What was the question?
You answered the Titanic, so your love life is like okay,
Titanic, yes, yes,
but
yes.
it's more
And I
like
would not, just for the record, if we
yeah.
were on the Titanic, I would not give you the piece of wood to float on. I'd be like,
Well,
yo,
that's good
bitch,
to know. That's good to know.
what are you talking about? You better learn how to swim. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you know this, but in my relationship, I identify as a high maintenance girlfriend. So I would not give my piece of wood. No, I would not. I would
Okay,
give you wood, but I wouldn't give you the floating,
say that
you
that
know.
can go in way
Hey, is
too
this
many
PG?
directions.
Is this thing PG? What's going on?
Yeah, it's okay. I had a guess that I had to put an explicit rating on their thing, so don't worry. Say what you will.
Mine,
It's just
mine, the warning's gonna say put on your helmets and tighten up your chin straps. That's what it's gonna
yes,
say.
exactly. Okay. But you know what though? But I feel like at least you're saying the Titanic from like a more exciting, maybe dangerous kind of way as opposed to just like it like just hitting rock bottom, you know.
Plus, I'm old enough to realize that I am the problem. It is me. I am old. I have done enough therapy and I am the problem, ladies.
Yeah.
It's not you for all the girls I loved before. It's me. It wasn't
It's
you.
you and you're
It
owning it.
was me. Yeah,
There's
except
a
for
lot to be said.
actually a couple of them were weirdos, but
I love that. Man who can take accountability.
100%. It takes, I think, in dating, in
Mhm.
relationships, in friendships, in business relationships, in everything. Yeah, I think a lot of people aren't taking accountability for themselves and what they do, and a lot of communication breakdowns and stuff like that. And if you're humble enough to like open your little ear to listen,
Mhm.
I think that would be 90% of relationship problems out there would be solved if just you would just stop, listen, listen, actually listen. Don't think of the
Yeah.
next thing to
Mhm.
say, because that's the problem with a lot of fights. You
Yeah.
start off fighting about one thing, and then it ends up talking about, how your mother-in-law is a pain. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
where did so I think we have to take time, listen.
Mhm.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but really hear what you're saying. Okay, now listen, this is my thing. So I think that is a lot. Like when I look back at my relationships,
Yeah.
I think communication was probably one of the things. For a guy who never shuts the fuck up, you think I would have better communication skills, but
I
you know
had
what I
Anna
mean?
Penner on the show, and we were talking about relationships in general,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes you can talk a lot, especially because we were talking about queer relationships. And I dated a woman for a while, and I joke about like when I was dating a woman, we talked so much, and we talked about feelings so much,
You
but yet
wait a
we had
second, hold on. Did you say you dated a woman?
yeah, yeah, I did a
Oh,
woman for
get
a year.
out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I let a couple guys suck my dick once, but that was a long time ago. I Cocaine's a hell of a drug, ma'am. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Can we
No,
say
I was
this?
like in a relationship, like in
And
an actual like
yeah, so
loving
yeah.
relationship. But we talked so much and still had so many communication issues. So
Um,
talking does
yeah.
not solve communication issues if you're not what you said, right? Really listening to one another, really being introspective about the role that you play, like all of that. Like it's hard
Oh,
and
it's
and it
huge.
goes for all relationships, not even just romantic ones.
Yeah, all like I said, business relationships in the comedy world. We were at comedy bar. We started at back room and then we ended up at comedy bar. We were there. A couple of comedians were there. We're talking, and it's funny. Two different comedians came up to me and said, "Hey, listen, I got these shows that I want you to work on. And I want you to work with me on these shows." And it's cool because the one comedian said that he would rather work with someone that he likes to work with rather than to be like super funny. I don't like. I was like, "What are you saying?" But he
No,
said,
it's true.
more importantly than being super funny on stage is just someone good to work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, you know, for me, comedy is very subjective, right? So
Absolutely.
what's funny to you is not necessarily funny to me,
Hmm,
uh,
hmm,
and so um, that whole thing of the work ethic and easy to work with and putting a show together and all of those behind the scenes stuff, I think is super important, especially for comedians where we're doing our own thing. A lot of comedians
hmm.
are either putting on shows at clubs already that are established, or
Yeah.
they're doing their own stuff, or a little bit of both. So a lot of that, I think, community is huge. I think working together, it makes you better. It makes you better as comics. Like I always find when we get a few of us together,
Yeah.
whether it be at Backrooms Dojo or just having breakfast, and we're kind of shoot bouncing the ideas off each other, we come up with so much funnier stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm really glad that there's a few places that encourage that working together. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Oh yeah, it makes a huge difference.
yeah,
Those interpersonal relationships, how we work
yes.
together, and it's been really interesting. I was having a conversation with
Because it's kind
Charmaine
of like
Kenny,
dating. Like being
but
a
it is. It's
comedian, it's
exactly
kind of
like
like
dating.
yeah, it is. It's a lot because it's all about the relationship. Even when you're on stage, it's that relationship that you're having with the people in the audience, right? Do
Hmm.
they want to be part of this relationship or not? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's the thing. If they're funny, they're laughing with you and stuff. If they're having a good time, then they're part of the relationship, you know?
Hmm.
And um
You bring up a
yeah,
really good
it's
point because
very
you are in that relationship, right? You're listening to the audience as well. You're talking to them, but
yeah.
you're also listening to how they're reacting. You're kind of trying to pick up on the body language, even though those
Yeah.
lights will kill you sometimes. But uh,
Yeah,
but,
100%. And yeah, you think I'd be better at my own knowing the audience, feeding off the audience so well, like I could read it.
mhm,
You know what though? Sometimes in the audience, and just like in a relationship,
mhm,
sometimes I talked to someone the other day and I was saying something, and the look on their face changed, and they kind of looked at me different. And I was like, oh. And then after the show, he came to me
yeah,
and said, hey, you know that part about this and this and that? And it was the exact same part I was thinking of.
yeah.
When I seen his face, I thought that he was like, oh, like, but what
Like
he told me is,
standoffish. Yeah.
yeah. And what he told me is that he wanted to really pay attention to what I was saying because he was really
Okay.
into it. So
Yeah.
his facial expression changed because he was really listening,
Hmm.
versus where I thought, so that misinterpretation, so that, your resting bitch face, you know what I mean? Right? You don't know you're
Yeah.
doing it,
Hmm.
but sometimes you're doing that. And so in the relationship, you're having a discussion back and forth,
Yeah.
right? Or even for myself, I have laughed or let out a laugh in very inappropriate times,
Hmm.
right? Because of nerves or whatever.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
someone says something. I remember someone said that they were giving a speech, and then they said, "Oh, I promised myself I wouldn't cry." Right? They said that part. And they were like holding back the tears.
Hmm.
But in my stupid brain, you know what I mean? In my comedy brain, I started thinking about Mike Myers, when he said, I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Right? And I'm playing, and right
Oh
away,
no.
ha! And I say it, ha! And I can see people looking at me with the eyes of death. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a relationship, when you're having these discussions or conversations, sometimes the person might let something out. Don't read into it so much. Deal with the fucking issue at hand. Do you know what I mean?
It's so hard.
Don't start going, because then what happens is that these couples are fighting about the fight. They're not fighting about the issue. They're fighting
Fighting
about the
about the
fight.
fight. That's a really good point. You're
That
right.
makes
People do
sense?
end up fighting about
Yeah.
the fight and not about the
Yes.
issue.
I've had a lot of time to look back and
Yeah.
reflect. Reflecting is very important as a comic, as a person. You need to reflect. I think you need to reflect. You need to look back and say, okay, why
Reflecting the
did
way
this
you
go
are off of
terribly
your
wrong?
glasses right now.
Why did this
You
go
are.
terribly wrong? Right? You need to kind of look back and think, why? Why did this go bad? Why did this go
Yeah.
wrong? So,
It's yeah, being that introspection part is just huge. But okay, we are going to go into our wheel of dating disasters
very nice.
and see where the conversation will take us. Okay, so let's give her a spin. Date that made you text your friends, get me out of here. Oh, now here's a very ignorant question. Do men have this? You're just
Well,
like, oh my gosh, like,
okay,
just
I can
save
tell you.
me.
Okay, so I don't have that. I didn't do that, but I had it done on me. Do you want to know that
Oh,
story?
okay. Yeah, yes, please.
Okay, so uh, I met this girl on Tinder, and I had to work construction that day, and we had dinner plans. She lived far out of town, like hour and a half from work.
Oh, wow.
So I drove straight from work to her house. So I said, "Hey, listen, is it okay if I take a shower at your house?" She was just gonna cook for us anyways. Like, is that cool? Haven't even met this person, just
Yeah, I was
talked. You
gonna
know what I
say,
mean?
okay.
Like, holy shit, let's do this right from the beginning. So I show up and it was a horrible day, by the way. It was a horrible day. The cement, we poured cement and we're doing like a foot or two deep, and I might have stepped into it or concrete got all over me.
Oh, no.
I ripped those off. I was wearing like jogging pants. I had my hair tied up in a pink bandana. I was, just
Oh my
tattered,
God.
like like looked like homeless with concrete on me, right? So
Yeah.
the worst. So
Hmm.
I walk into this lady's house, and she's like, "Oh my God, yeah, go ahead, go take a shower." And then she calls her friend, say, "Listen, this guy just showed up, and he looks like a fucking homeless guy.
Oh
Call
no.
me in like 10 minutes. When he gets out of the shower, you know what I mean? You
Mhm.
say there's an emergency, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'll get rid of this dude, right?" So, anyways, I go up as a savage. I come down all very nice in my hair and all not, you know what I mean? All dressed and
Yeah, yeah.
perfumes and all this
Mhm.
stuff, right? She's like, oh, she's right away like, oh, this guy's, because
He's okay.
I don't know if you can tell, I'm kind of a catch. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. Like, I'm kind of a catch. So, anyways, so I'm there, and then the phone rings. Like, she's making dinner for, she's all happy serving me dinner. Phone rings.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. And she's and her friend, no, seriously, you gotta get in. She's like, no, yeah, okay, yeah, thanks, bye.
Like,
Oh,
oh
my friend,
gosh.
oh, you know what I mean? And then she told me this story
She
years
came clean
later.
with you? Okay.
Yeah, but years later, she told me the
Oh,
story.
really?
Yeah, we were together for like almost 5 years. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so
Okay.
that's what I mean. Like, I'm one of those, I'm a person that you don't like, even in the dating thing. Like, at first, you're like, you either love me or hate me right off the bat.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I grow on them because I come out like this, and they're like, oh,
Hmm.
this is organized mess.
Yes, yes,
It's not an
yes.
act, like it's me, but you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like,
Yeah, but
it's
there's more to you than sort of meets
Yeah,
the initial
this
eye.
is just the 5 minute version to get everyone's
Hmm.
attention, to have
Yeah.
fun, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot, you know what I mean? Like, I used to
There's
sing in a,
layers to Brian.
yeah, there's many layers. I used to sing in a choir, you know what I mean? Like, I was in musicals,
Oh,
stuff
wow.
like that
Okay.
too, like
Now,
different stuff. also
I
do the
have to say that
construction, but
the most shocking thing that you said as part of that story was that you met a woman on Tinder and then you stayed together for 5 years. I do know
yes,
people like that. Like I do, but
I
it's
was
rare.
able to fool her for 5 long years. No, it's funny because
Mhm.
in every relationship you learn stuff, and she learned a lot of stuff from me. I learned a lot of stuff from her, but it was funny not to judge a book by its cover. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And also, I know what I'm working with. Do you know what I mean? And I know
Hmm.
that when I come as ripped clothes and everything else, I want you to see me at my worst.
Hmm.
And a lot of relationships have worked because people have seen me at my worst, and then it's all uphill from there. You know what I mean? A
That's
lot of
all I know
guys,
from.
yeah, it's the opposite of bringing your A game. I bring like this is what you get today.
So
This is where I'm at, and
okay, you
then
have
we'll see.
so piqued my curiosity though. So what do you do for your profile pictures?
Oh,
Like what
usually
is your
pictures from
blend of
like 10
pictures
years
there?
ago. No, I'm kidding. I hate when they
I
have
wouldn't be
pictures from
shocked.
10 years ago. Um,
Like, do you tend to do more dressed up pictures? Do you do more
yeah,
casual
so
pictures?
yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really like okay, so the whole app thing that happened, like put a couple pictures up, but it's all like I think one of the pictures I got a microphone. I think I'm doing some
Mhm.
stand up, so they already know I'm doing stand up stuff.
Yeah.
I think I have my fur coat in another
Okay.
one, obviously, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so I get a lot of messages like love your energy, you
Okay.
know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Love your hair. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
I get that kind of response. So it already kind of weeds out everybody who's vanilla. Like I don't want
Hmm.
any vanilla.
Yeah.
Unless because vanilla is okay because it's not okay. So if I date someone who's a very introvert, right? It's
Hmm.
fine for a little bit because they like it because I can start the conversations
Hmm.
and they could
Yeah.
just, enjoy the conversations, on the side.
Hmm.
So it takes the attention off them. They like it. But then, I don't know. It just, I guess it depends on the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some people started off as introverts, but then being with me, they became more extrovert because they liked it better. Like,
Hmm.
or even I've had girlfriends that are jealous of the attention that I get when I walk into a room because they're pretty and they're not getting the attention that they usually get because everyone's now gawking over me because I came in with the pretty girl, but I'm really funny.
But the
Do you know what I mean?
personality is shining. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the whole psyche is insane. Like now I think now I can handle all that a lot better because
Hmm.
I've had a chance to live it. You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
now that I'm single, I can totally do it better. Uh, but you know what I mean? That I
Mhm.
think it's people. It's tough, man. Relationships
Yeah.
fucking suck sometimes. Like if you're with someone, you got married or you have kids and all that stuff,
Hmm.
and you found them and they're your best friend, you did your fucking job. Like that's
Yeah.
what's up. Like don't
Hmm.
think that there's a golden boot somewhere of this
Hmm.
magic
Somewhere else.
person
Yeah.
that just
Hmm.
wants to do everything you want to do. Like
Yeah.
that's not real. But if you could find someone that you have common
Mhm.
dislikes, you know what I mean? Common dislikes, I think, is more important than common likes
Likes. Yeah.
because opposites attract. It's good to have your own thing. I think
Hmm.
couples always together 24/7 is kind of weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of like, what?
Hmm.
Don't you trust them? Like, what the fuck? And then the one time that the husband's gone with his buddies, he doesn't know how to act in public and he does something stupid. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I
Hmm.
was a sheltered kid at home, and when I got out freedom, I fucked up big time,
Hmm.
early 20s.
Yeah.
I fucked everything up. So I know what that's like. So it's the same thing, I think, with relationships, with everything.
Hmm.
But that's a
Now,
lot of words. I never even thought I had this in me. This is pretty smart stuff. Uh, you put
are
this on
you?
Dr. Phil?
Let's go back to the
That's
wheel.
so funny. A
God, if
warning
your
label.
dating life had a warning label, what would it say? Run!
Is this controlled by AI?
I would not be shocked to tell you the truth.
So the question was, if there was a warning label on me, what would it
Yes.
be?
Yeah.
And I just want to start off by saying I am probably a walking Amber Alert.
I hope
Oh
that's not
my
because you're
God.
stealing little kids.
But no, no, not stealing. I'm just walking. I'm like so
Warning.
many red flags, like so many red flags right here. I think it would be like warning, like
Just warning, period. Just not
uh,
even like what, just warning.
it's funny. Hey, but we joke around. You know I'm harmless.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends. We always joke around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, but it's funny. I think warning labels. That's a good one. I don't know. I think between hold on tight,
Mm-hmm.
hold on tight, um, and don't worry, don't stress out, because at the end of the day, I'm coming home to you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, my partner. I think the only thing that really defies a partnership when it comes, for a couple is that you're going home with that person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main thing. That person is your number one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't think you should enable your partner to like always. You should also like keep them in check too. I think your partner has to be the one person that you'll stop doing whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
acting crazy or not or whatever. Just stop. Listen to your partner. That's got to be the
Mm-hmm.
one person that you can definitely trust
Yeah.
closer than anybody else. It has to be that person. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I think. That's my whole thing. So
Yeah.
when it comes to being a partnership,
Mm-hmm.
uh, most important is you two, and then everybody else. You know what I mean? If you have
Yeah.
kids and stuff, those even the other person's kids should be your first priority as well. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like everything about that person
Yeah.
is whatever's important to that person should be important to you, or at
Mm-hmm.
least protect them to do what they think is important. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe you don't like the same stuff, but as a partner, I think that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And any
Yeah. No,
and
that's
right?
yeah, no, that's actually really sort of the way to look at it. One of the things that I heard you say was around, keeping them in check or keeping you in check. I think, sometimes we idealize that this person or partner is going to be perfect and love everything about us. But one of the things that I look for in a partner is somebody who's going to call me out on my BS.
Yes, I heard, and I've been told that too. I've been told by strong part. Some women I had
Yeah.
was with were very strong minded, very thing, and
Hmm.
they said I liked you because they liked me because I would correct them, or I would
Yeah.
maybe not in front of everybody and call them
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Obviously not. Are you crazy? I don't want to get. I don't want to death wish,
There's
but
self-preservation, but
definitely like, hey, uh, that lady, that was her parking space. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have pulled her out of her window
yeah.
and backed her car up. Her child was in
Yeah.
the back seat. Like you shouldn't have done that. I think that was a little bit too much, especially when you made me park the car. You know what I mean? Like so different things, like but I think a good partner is someone who's got your back. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's your fucking partner. Like that's
Yeah.
a like
Even
the
when it's
guy.
uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, even when it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable, even when you're right or when you're wrong. Like I think that's what makes a good partner. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are other things that you look for in a partner, Brian? Like what's important to you and the other person?
Well, if I think you're gonna have a question or whatever about swiping, how do I swipe? Swipe right or left or whatever? Is there something like that? Is there a part of that in this show that talks about some of the things? So for me, to
Hmm.
start off,
Hmm.
uh, I start with looks. So
Hmm.
it has to be someone that I am attracted to. I
Hmm.
think that has been uh, besides being an idiot, but also, getting a wandering eye or straight. I was like, you know what? From now on, I have to be attracted to someone.
Yeah.
Number one, I need to be attracted to them, and then it's everything else that comes along with that.
Hmm.
The whole thing of yes, she's a really great personality, but I have to turn the lights off. It only works for so long. Do you know what I mean? For me, sounds like a total asshole thing saying that out of the
No, but
thing, but
the thing is, I think that sometimes people are in denial and put themselves under being, oh, I'm
yeah,
being nice. Like you do need to have some kind of physical
of course.
attraction.
And I
I
know I'm
believe
not
that. And that's
everybody's.
different for everybody,
Yeah,
right? What you're
yeah,
attracted to might
exactly.
not be what your
Everyone.
buddy's attracted to.
Yeah, there's
And
only
sometimes,
30%. There's only 30% of men
mhm,
that every woman will sleep with. There's only
yeah,
30% of men that are
hmm
attractive that all women will say, "Yeah, I'll sleep with that." You know what I
hmm
mean? There's 90% of women that men will sleep with. Do you know what I mean? You see the difference, the ratio difference? So
yeah.
I get it. But yeah, I think that's a huge I think for like if unless you're not having sex, like I don't know, but I'm
So
like ready.
I talk to my kids actually a lot about this.
Yeah.
We end up with the question around, are looks everything? Are looks the only thing that matter? And my answer is always looks play a part, especially in today's world
Apart, yeah, and
where
it's
we're
not the
meeting
most.
people,
Yeah,
right, online and stuff. So it's
and if
based
I
on
had to
pictures.
decide between someone who was average looking and someone
Hmm
who's hot, and but the attitudes are totally different, I'll take the average with a great
hmm
attitude
Yeah,
over a 10
yeah.
who's a pain in the ass any day of the week.
And
Like,
I've met people
yeah,
where, maybe on their profile pics they're okay. And then I meet them, and the
yeah,
way that they speak, the way they carry themselves, the
correct.
enthusiasm they have for life, whatever, suddenly makes them more attractive, right? Like that whole
So,
package. And then I've had the opposite happen, where I've matched with somebody very attractive, and then I
yes,
meet them, and I'm
and you're
like,
like,
there is nowhere that
yes,
I'm putting that
yes.
in me. Like there's
I
no way.
have I have someone that I've just talked to on the phone,
Mhm.
and I like her better than everyone. You know what I mean? Because it's just the way that she is. I just love her. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
also, it's one of those things that, uh, yeah, sometimes dating. Okay, here's the thing with dating too. If people make it too easy or too hard, it changes the way you almost like say the whole playing hard to get thing. That's a
Mhm.
real thing.
Yeah,
That's a
of
real
course.
thing. If you
Yeah.
don't give it up right away, that's kind of a real thing. You know what I
hmm
mean? So all these psychological games that we got to play when we're dating
Yeah.
is crazy because even for you know you okay, so I'm pretty much a open slate. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
I say whatever.
hmm
This is who I am. But I mean to start off the very first day, I don't know if it always works to trauma dump on the other person. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I don't think that's what this is. I think dating is to find someone who makes you better or adds value to your
hmm
current life. Do you know
Your
what I
life. Yeah.
mean?
hmm
Um, I think that's another big thing too, that, you know, not that what do you bring to the relationship, not that, but to bring value to each other because you're both
Yeah.
together. You know, just by having, say, for example, the per all I need from you is just someone to listen. Right? Just someone to listen. Just, hey, blah, 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 blah. This is my day. Okay, I feel better. Good. That's a positive part of having a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So,
And
uh,
value means so many different
correct.
things, right?
Value
Because sometimes
is,
you hear that term, what do you bring to the table? And when I look at what a man or what I want a man to bring to the table, it has nothing to do with monetary value. However, what I have found over the last 5 years is that there are not all men, because I know plenty of men who are not this way, but I have found a lot of men on the dating apps who are not financially stable, or I mean, it's a hard economy that we're in, right? Sometimes I feel society has put so much pressure on men to be producers that when they're not being producers, their self-esteem takes a shot. And then that comes through in the relationship. So I
mm,
have had a hard time with some people who are not working or who are struggling, who then it affects them very personally, like their attitude, and then
Like they
that gets
can't get it
misconstrued.
up, they're impotent.
Right, but then it gets misconstrued, right? Because then it's like, oh, well, you didn't want to
Joking.
date me because I didn't have a job. And I'm like, no, I don't care that you don't have a job, but I do care that you're whining all the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. It's the type of person like we've all had hard times, right? But are these guys living in their mom's basement for 10 years? Or are these guys never moved out? Or
Yeah,
are
is
these
there a
guys
plan in
moving
place,
back?
right?
Yeah, or did they move back because they just broke up with their life partner that they thought they were
Yeah,
going to spend the rest of their life with, and they're
exactly. Yeah.
starting from scratch? You know what I mean? So what
Hmm.
is the purpose? Are these guys gold diggers?
Hmm.
Are these guys? Because nowadays you have gold diggers every shape and
Everybody
size.
has an age, and yeah.
Every shape. There's dudes that are not cute enough to be gold diggers, and they are living off mommy's first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not like all shapes and sizes. So,
Hmm.
um, that's the other thing too. Uh, are you bringing value to somebody who is appreciating your value, or someone who's just sucking what they can from you and maybe have a whole laundry list of people that they get whatever they can from? Some people, this is a whole, I've seen it where people are on dating apps or whatever, and they're not dating, they're just living off of it. It's a business
Yeah.
to them,
Now, you
right?
have a lot of you're very interesting. Like you have a lot of endeavors, right? Like comedy is just one side of you. There's a lot of things that you do. Is it
Mm.
important to you that you find a partner who um who supports you in your like artistic endeavors, or is that something that you're happy to do on your own? Would you want a woman who wants to come out to your shows?
Interesting, interesting. If if I was dating another comedian or someone who was in the business somehow or
Mhm.
something, and we're able to spend time doing what we love, and it's also our career, and we're spending time together,
Mhm.
as long as we have our own things as well, that wouldn't be bad. It's pretty cool because um, I like having a partner who's into what I'm into as
Mhm.
well. Plus, we could spend more time together. Um, it's good having a partner, and yeah, I would love to have a partner that is also in to my world,
Mhm.
because especially when you're, let's say when I'm doing women in comedy, and I'm working with 4 or 5 different women. Uh, if my partner's there, then she's not gonna wake up the next day and say that I cheated with these women in her dream and look at me like Erica Kirk with those eyes and she wants to kill me in the morning. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it just makes it makes life easier if the person that I'm with is also in the same, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
not to, or they have to just be cool enough that know that I'm going to go do my thing, and when I'm done, I'll be back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because another thing too, there's only so many times you could hear the same joke,
Mhm.
right? Like we're saying the joke,
Mhm.
okay, and sometimes it's hard for us if we're saying a
Yes.
joke
Yeah, it
for the
is.
50th time, right?
Mhm.
So imagine her in the audience having to listen to the same fucking joke 50 times, and then
Yeah.
she's still gonna laugh. Because if she doesn't laugh, people are gonna look at her and say, "What's her problem?"
I know.
And then all of a sudden, the attention goes to her. Do you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
like, I think of the 100 steps after that,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yeah.
a woman who's a partner who is into the same things I'm in, yeah, I
Mhm.
think it makes life easier because she also
Yeah.
understands the business, right? She
Mhm.
can't be jealous. She can't be a jealous person
Yeah.
because, like, even I've had people come up to me and like, oh wow, you're so great or whatever,
Mhm.
and maybe it's the girlfriend or whatever, and she wants to give me a hug and all this stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, like it's just part of the experience. Like
Yeah.
I made them feel so happy, or
Mhm.
I made them laugh or whatever. I broke them out of the shell. I get a lot of that. I get a lot of people, the energy, you know what I mean? I get a lot of that stuff. So I really enjoy, that's one, probably my favorite part of doing stand up is touching. touching, not like that, touching the hearts of the people
Yes.
who come
Yeah.
to see, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's a huge thing. I love breaking the monotony of whatever this rat race that we're living in. You know
hmm
what I mean? Like I like to make it glitch once in a while so that everyone's like remembers that we're still human beings. I think
Here's a
at
question.
this age,
We're kind of living in a world of like I remember
yeah.
growing up, when boys would ask you to like go around. That was the language. Like it wasn't even like let's
Go
date or whatever. It
around.
was go around. That was the
Uh,
language. We would go around
we
together.
used to we used to pass notes and it was do you like me? Yes
I
or
got one of
no.
those in grade seven, written on a bathroom like paper towel. You know the brown paper towels?
They didn't even put it on paper.
I
He was
could know it
taking
was
a
a paper
dump and he
towel and it
thought
had
of
the check
asking you
mark,
out.
yes or no. Yeah.
Mine, I would have to make sure, like I would
hmm
have to actually put on the bottom of parentheses or whatever, a pick yes or no. Do not pick or. It'd be like circle yes or no,
No, yeah.
right? But don't circle
But
or.
don't circle
You know what I
or,
mean?
don't circle or.
Ah, women. I've always had this tough time with these women just trying to communicate. Communication, just spelling it out for them, like legit.
Communication is hard. But my question
Yeah.
is going to be like, in a world of kind of no labels, right? When do you, right, like determine, like, okay, this is official? Like, do you have that conversation or do you just fall into it?
I think the last time I was dating someone, I'm like, does this mean we're boyfriend and girlfriend?
Okay.
uh, I think you kind of know. You kind of know, but I don't know. That's a very good question. Like, when do you put the label? I think, especially, I think once you're having, see, I think once you're having sex, because I think sex is
Yeah,
pretty, some people think of it as no big deal. For me, I think every time you have sex with someone, a little piece of your soul is left with that person, a little bit of their soul is in
yeah,
you. And you know what I mean? And I think that's why once you sleep with someone, you kind of almost always have a connection with that person. So I
absolutely. Yeah.
think minimum, I think that's it. Um, is sleeping with someone. But I mean, I think I would date somebody who's exclusive if we were spending, certain time together and just I think it's just it's like I don't need a woman for anything that I can't do for me except
hmm
for that one thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So everything else I can kind of do for myself. So
yeah.
I don't really need anything. Like I don't need anything except for the physical touch and for the caring and for the nagging. You know what I mean? That's the only stuff I
I think
can't
the word
do
you
for
were looking for
myself.
was companionship.
Yeah, companionship. That's what it is.
Companionship
That's
was the word
yeah.
you were
We
looking
were
for.
fucking out.
Good
Brutal.
guy.
Fucking
Behind all
brutal.
this talk, but I see it. I've
You're lucky I'm
seen
on
it a few
vacation
times.
on the beach right now. If
I
anyone was
looked into
around,
your
they'd
eyes a
think,
few
what the heck is
times.
going? Oh my God.
Okay, we have just a couple
Would
more
you?
minutes, so we're gonna move very quickly. I'm gonna get into the this or that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you an option between two things. Don't think too much about it. Just pick one, and we'll go from
You
there.
know
Okay.
me. I'm a master at not thinking.
What do you take as a better apology? My bad, or my therapist says?
My bad. Just shut the fuck up. My bad. Don't do it again.
Okay. Do you prefer a romantic winter walk or Netflix under the blankets?
Nothing winter, nothing. Nothing winter. Winter is for penguins, polar bears, not for Portuguese people. Okay, we like the sun. That's what we like. So Netflix, please.
Are you more likely to take a gym selfie or a car selfie?
Car selfie. Car selfie.
Well, believe it or not, we are out of time. I've
Uh-huh.
kept you a little longer than I should have anyway. But
That's
Brian,
okay.
where can people find you?
So you can find me on Couto. Wait, here, my shirt.
Oh, you're
Oh,
disappearing.
disappeared!
You're
I
disappearing.
disappeared. It's Couto Brian, Couto, Brian, Brian. You can find me. I have a YouTube. If you Google Brian Couto, I should be the first guy that pops up. So I've been doing a lot of little podcasts and stuff around too. Doing some stand up. You could catch me at Backroom Comedy all the time. Um, and yeah, you check my Instagram. That's the best. I put little videos up. This winter has been a little tough. This past couple months has been a little bit different for me, but I've written so much material. I notice when my life is easy, I'm not that funny. I'm not that funny, but when life is kicking me in the
Yeah.
ass, I really start to really get into it. So I
Mhm.
have some really funny stuff that I want to share with everybody for 2026. Another reason why I do comedy, I think it's a good healing
Mhm.
mechanism for ourselves going through stuff, but also for other people that know that the struggle is for everybody.
Mhm.
In
Absolutely.
life, nothing's guaranteed, and
Mhm.
sometimes it kicks you in the face, and you just got to keep getting up,
Yeah.
right? And so
Absolutely.
I really like the crew of comedians that
Mhm.
have flocked around in Toronto lately. I've been there
Yeah.
for about 5 years now, but just been watching and
Mhm.
mingling with all the different comedians, and I really like the new comedians that are coming in. I really
Mhm.
like you guys are fresh and fun. So and
I
really
don't get called
really
fresh very often, thank you.
you're very fresh, fun, but also you guys like to work together, and that's a very
Yeah,
refreshing.
I it was
Yeah.
very unexpected coming into comedy. I wasn't expecting the community aspect, and I have
Yeah.
met absolutely wonderful, wonderful people. It's been
Yeah.
a very supportive community. Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't met them all, obviously, because you've
No,
been,
I haven't, but it's been shocking, right?
no,
Yeah.
but there are some really great
Yeah.
people in
Hmm.
the Toronto community. And for anybody else who is still thinking of maybe throwing their hat in the ring and becoming
Hmm.
a comedian, check it out. Backroom's got a dojo. They work with you. Another place in Hamilton, Levity.
Yes, Levity. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm at Levity. I'm in
they
Hamilton
do.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so they do
They've
some
got a
stuff.
great
So I
community.
mean,
I've out in Welland, they have a really good community at Rose City
yeah,
Collective. Also,
yeah,
they have some beginners classes and
yeah, and
mics
then that's the
there.
whole thing. It's really
Yeah.
because if you're a funny person naturally, that's great. That's half the battle.
Hmm.
Now, knowing how to put it together on a stage to get the audience engaged that you never met before is the comedian stand-up part.
Oh
And
yeah,
so,
this was gonna be easy. And oh no, like I love it,
yeah,
but I'm learning so much. But I've been humbled very much so.
oh yeah. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is comedy is the hardest thing I've ever done. And I work with
Hmm.
special needs people every
Hmm.
day.
Yeah.
I worked at concrete. Yeah,
Hmm.
those concrete guys are pretty special needs. It's a pretty pretty demanding industry. So,
Yeah.
but comedy is probably the hardest thing to start off. I think once you get into it, you start to feel better. But
Hmm.
we're also like I'm also in that year, like that year between the year 3 and 5. Those years are the
Yes.
years
Yeah.
that we think we're invincible as comedians, and the
Yeah. I've
guys who've
heard
been
that.
doing
Yeah.
right, the guys who have been doing for 10 years hate our guts, but
Hmm.
because like look at these fucking guys. But no, they don't hate us. They
Yeah, I don't know.
just
I know what you mean, though.
they
Yeah.
just don't book us. That's you know who you are. You know who you are. You know who you are. So, anyways, I don't give a fuck. I'm friends with some of the best comedians out there, and I love that they're doing well because they're funny. That's what it
Yeah.
is. If you want to
Yeah.
really make it in this comedy in this business, you gotta be
Mhm.
fucking funny. Doesn't really
Yeah.
matter who you're buddies with at the end of the day. If you're really funny and if you can bring crowds,
And
you can,
you gotta be able to work with people. Going back
yeah,
full circle
100%.
to what we talked about at the beginning, right?
Yeah, that's true. Working with people and stuff is really great. I had the chance to open up for some really good comics and having a chance to talk to them after our set, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? They were just super encouraging. I noticed that from the guys who are really making it out there, like the Ben Bankus and the Mike Ritas. They're like, keep going. Good job. Give me a hug. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Mikey gives me a hug. He's like, hey,
Hmm.
give it, and it's really encouraging from guys who have made it because they know what it takes and they worked for that stuff. No one gave that to them. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
It's a
the
grind.
guys who really
It's hard.
understand, yeah, the guys who
Yeah.
really
It's hard
understand,
work.
appreciate the grind
Yeah.
and appreciate the new guys coming up too because that's what makes it fun is that you don't always want to hear the same joke, but you want a variety and then have your headliner. You know what I mean? You want
Mhm.
some new guys, then have your meat and potatoes at the end, right? So
Yeah.
it's an amazing community, and I'm really glad that we're a part of it. So,
Absolutely.
and
But thank you, Brian.
awesome
And you
meeting
know
you
what?
too.
After this, I said, I don't feel like I've been to the Titanic, but I do feel like maybe I've been to Wonderland. It has been a ride. It has been a roller coaster. We've gone in circles. We've gone up and down. It's been everything
100%.
but boring, for sure.
For sure.
And
We'll
again,
start it
thank
off
you.
the way.
Thank you again for joining us from the beach.
Yeah, I'm gonna go suntan now. So
Yeah.
enjoy the pina coladas, and we'll see each other soon. All right.
Okay. See you soon. And thank you very much for joining us on Dating If It's a Joke. Join us next time.